All right, thin crust cheese pizza. Where's the dough? You said you'd have my money for me last week. Hey, buddy, you don't pepperone me. Big words for somebody sitting on thin ice, or should I say, thin crust. Today, I will be reviewing thin crust cheese pizza. What brand is it? It doesn't say here. It probably says on the back somewhere. Ah, it does. A product of Frozen Specialties Inc., FSI. So the branding is kind of hidden here. Very generic, but that's kind of why I picked it up. Let's take a look at it. I have high hopes for this generic cheese pizza. The nutrition is separated into servings or per container. Now, let's be real. This is one serving. Come on, guys. Who isn't going to eat this whole thing? So we're going to ignore the per serving and just do per container. 620 calories, good chunk. 27% total fat, 30% for saturated fat. A little high, but not actually that high considering 620 calories. Just when you consider the 2,000 calorie diet. Anyway, 5% cholesterol, 42% for sodium, little high sodium, 31% for carbs, 14% fiber, 6% added sugars, and then 22 grams of protein. Not bad, not bad. A lot of protein from the cheese, I guess. Now, the cooking instructions. Sadly, this is not microwavable. Very sad, but as positive, it is quite easy still and pretty fast. Preheat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove pizza from carton and wrapper. Place on middle oven rack. Bake for 13 to 15 minutes. Yeah, not terrible. I'm excited to give this a try. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. Okay, the reveal. It looks like a pizza thing, a cheese pizza. Um, Decent size. Obviously, this is enlarged to show detail, but it's about the same. I don't think there's anything different that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go cook this up, and then I will be back at some point. All right, we have got it, the thin crust pizza. It looks not terrible, actually. Um, Looks fine. It was pretty easy to make. Here's the box. Looks about the same. Not as clean, I guess, as the box. I don't know. Maybe I cooked it a little too long. I don't know. The box is like whiter and fluffier almost. This is kind of a darker, like toasted look. So maybe I did cook it too long. But overall, it looks decent. It's still very hot. It's not like a full-size pizza size, I don't think. But it's still decently sized. I'm gonna give it a taste here if it's cold enough. Not bad at all. So the crust is very thin. You still get some of the pizza dough stuff, but it is a little bit more on the cracker. It's kind of crackery, but you still get the pizza dough taste and feel a little bit. The sauce and cheese though, I mean they're fine, but I'm gonna be honest. This box is screams generic. It doesn't even have like actual branding on the box. It is just thin crust cheese pizza, like no branding. And this kind of tastes like the most generic cheese pizza I've ever had. The sauce is fine. It tastes like pizza sauce, but doesn't feel like there's that much of it. It feels like there could be more, and it could be have a little bit more oomph to it. The cheese as well is fine, but it's not amazing. Like it tastes like a very generic cheese pizza. There's nothing about it that really stands out. Honestly, even with the thin crust, here's how thin the actual pizza is, by the way. Even with that, it kind of feels like there's more dough than topping-ish. Like it doesn't have like an amazing flavor or anything. Yes, I am eating this like an absolute barbarian. Okay, this is a very inefficient way to eat pizza. Yeah, even when you get like an inner piece with no outer crust, isn't really all that special. Hot? Okay, that was a bad move. The tomato sauce tastes like typical pizza tomato sauce if it was slightly muted, where it doesn't really have that big an oomph of flavor, and it doesn't feel like there's that much of it. Maybe it's pooled a little bit in specific spots. It doesn't seem like it has super even coverage. It does its job in a very mediocre way. And the cheese is fine, but it doesn't bring anything special either. I feel like this pizza is like the most generic bland cheese pizza I've ever had. It's not bad by any means, but it really does not have any part of it that's like, oh, this is good. This is what this is known for. This is what makes this stand out. It's pure mediocrity is its defining feature, I think. It's pure like generic mediocrity. I guess that's a little harsh because I do like it, but it there really isn't much you can say about it positively or negatively. Yeah, I guess that's gonna be my review for it. There isn't really much I can say. Crust is thin, and the breading is thin, but it's still kind of there's enough of it to the topping ratio that it still tastes very pizza doughy. Each bite has a lot of dough taste. It does have the cheese and the tomato sauce, but both of them are like you can tell they're there and they blend together with the dough to make the distinct pizza taste, and it's good, but they don't bring anything magnificent to it. They just sort of make the most generic mediocre pizza. Mediocre is maybe bad. The generic. It's just extremely generic. Everything about this is generic. For that, I think I'm gonna give it. I'll say a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe a 7 if I'm feeling like pizza. Maybe it gets a 7 out of 10. But I think it's decent. It's perfectly edible. I wouldn't mind eating this, especially if I'm craving pizza. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not that difficult to make, although it is in the oven, not the microwave, which is a little sad. But it just doesn't have anything, any defining characteristic that makes it unique or gives it really like a, this is great. It's just a very generic cheese pizza. If you're, for whatever reason, you want cheese pizza, this is fine, but it's definitely not the best cheese pizza, but it's not bad either. So, yeah, 6.5 out of 10. I think it's decent. It's just extremely generic. Anyway, that's it for the thin crust cheese pizza by FSI Frozen Specialties Inc. from Archibald, Ohio, I think. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Welcome to the outro, my dudes. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, in this outro, I want to say a very sad time. Since I got my first few paychecks, since I've got a full-time job for the first time, I decided I should start investing. And I wanted to be cool and got into crypto, but let's just say that's looking like a poor decision. I bought the top of the Bitcoin, but well, not exactly the top, but a little too high. However, you know what is doing good for me? Roblox stock. I decided to buy some Roblox stock, and that's helping offset my my Bitcoin losses. Not by much, as you saw earlier. But yeah, I decided to start investing at the worst time. But yeah, since I just got my first few paychecks, it obviously wasn't really that much. Very sad though. Anyway, hopefully I make better financial decisions. Thank you for watching. See ya!